Welcome to your Peoplenet training video. This is a demonstration on the most prevalent tablet we have in our trucks, the Android tablet. We're going to do some macros, show you how to work the workflow on it, pull our load information from our messaging email box. We're going to get started here in just 1 minute. Alright, so we're going to go into our email box. I'm going to use a pen here with a rubber tip. This works very well on these tablets. We're going to look at our inbox and look for standard email load assignment. Tony graciously built me a load going to Key Largo, Florida, so we're going to look at that. When you bring the email up, it'll tell you the order number. The order number is what you put on your transflow paperwork when you transflow it in. The loaded miles for this practice load is 1,223 miles. As you can see, it says this is a dummy load for John Newcomer. General materials. He has Nelson Wire and Steel out of New Salem as the shipper. Going to KLI Supply in Key Largo, Florida. As you can see here, the address for Nelson Wire and Steel and the address for KLI Supply. I don't see any other instructions here, so we'll go back to our main page and we'll see what the workflow looks like. So this is your standard starting page of a trip for workflow. It has the leg number and there's that order number again. It's from Nelson Steel and Wire by today's date at 7 p.m. to KLI Supply by the 9th. Alright, and we're going to click on that. And now we have a start and trips down at the bottom. These are our 3 legs. This is where we're starting our empty miles. This is where we're loading, and this is where we're unloading. When we're ready, we want to start our dispatch. This lets dispatch know that we're ready to start this load. Now we need to go back into our workflow and begin our empty miles at JLE Dunbar Yard. Alright. It's actually BBT, it's begin bobtail miles at JLE Dunbar Yard. So we're going to hit arrive, and it's going to bring up a create form. It does have a comment line if we have anything to say, but usually this is something you're not going to comment on. And we're going to hit send and send that to dispatch. Now when we're ready to leave JLE, we will go back into our workflow, click on where we're beginning bobtail miles, and hit depart. And as you see, when we go back in, that part of it is now gone because we've departed JLE Dunbar Yard. So we drive over to Nelson Wire and Steel in New Salem, which is 12.3 miles away. When we get to Nelson Wire and Steel, of course, we need to go into our workflow, click on Nelson Wire and Steel, and hit arrive. And we've agreed for this one that we're going to show that we're hooking a trailer, an already loaded trailer at Nelson Wire and Steel. So, as you can see, the questions with red asterisks have to be answered. Are you hooking a trailer? Yes, we are. So the trailer is unknown. We're going to put a trailer number in there. We're going to use T 7 0 1 0. Alright, and then we're going to hit If we want to look through the rest of the information, bill lading is 119 dummy load. And we're going to send that. Alright, so now we're at Nelson Wire and Steel. We hook up to the trailer, we start strapping down. We also saw earlier that there was a message sent there after our load assignment, and it is a helping message to instruct the forklift driver to push down on the mesh while strapping. This is a load that will lean if it is not tightened down tight enough. We want to make sure that we tighten it down tight enough, and if possible, pull both ways with the straps. So now we get loaded at Nelson Wire and Steel. We're hooked to our trailer, we're secured. We use the forklift to push down on the load, and we are ready to leave Nelson Wire and Steel. So we go back into our workflow, we click on where we've loaded at Nelson Wire and Steel, and we hit depart. So at this point, if we want to look back in our workflow, that part of it has now disappeared. The only thing left in there is where we are unloading. So at that point, we also want to go into our eDriver logs, update our load information with our trailer information and our shipping information, right? So we're going to put Nelson Alright, and then we can push this down arrow, get rid of keyboard. We're going to accept. Now we've updated our logbook also. When we get to Key Largo, Florida, when we pull into the lot, we go in just to make sure that we're in the right spot that we're going to unload. We come back out to our truck. We want to go into our workflow, click on where we're unloading at, and hit arrive. And much like when we hit arrive at JLE Dunbar Yard, there is nothing here that has to be answered. There is a comment line if we have a comment to make. I don't have a comment to make, so I'm going to hit send. This is letting dispatch know that we have arrived at our unloading destination, and we are here ready to get unloaded. And then of course, when we do get unloaded, we put everything away, we're ready to leave. We get back into our workflow and we click on where we're unloading and we hit depart. At this point, if there's nothing else in there, our workflow will gray out, as you just saw. If there was another load in there, it would stay lit up, and then we could go in there and start that next dispatch. Okay guys, I just want to point out, as you can see, the workflow is grayed out. That means there are no loads left in there. Probably the largest number of calls I get from drivers is my driver managers just sent me a load and it hasn't gone into my workflow. And the number one question I ask is, do you have any old loads in your workflow? And usually it's yes, I have a couple old loads in there. Guys, if you aren't arriving and departing those destinations, those loads will not depart out of there. And if you don't depart them out of there, it will clog up. It will eventually quit giving you your load. So you have to make sure that you arrive and depart those loads. It's extremely important. It benefits dispatch, it benefits accounting, and it benefits you as a driver. It lets everyone know that everything is working efficiently. So we need to keep those macros going. Arrive and depart every destination. Just works so much better.